Awesome. Looks like we're live. Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Burt, and yeah, I'm just really excited to have everyone here. And I get excited because tonight you're going to learn how to eliminate your migraines naturally without drugs, without surgery, and without needle injections. And, thinking back now, I've got so many success stories that I want to share with you. And it's because what I'm going to teach you flat out works, and it works for migraines. And I created this entire masterclass specifically for migraine sufferers and nobody else. And, some people ask me like, well, why do you do this, Dr. Burt? And I will get to that in just a minute. But first, I just want to get a feel for everyone who's joined us tonight. And so if you'd please just go ahead and type in the chat box just with where you're listening in from and, what city and why this topic's important to you. I know for me, this topic is massively important just because the information literally changed my wife's life. And what you may not know is that my wife, she used to be a migraine sufferer, and 3 times a week, and sometimes so bad that she'd have to stop everything that she's doing just so she could go and sleep it off. And sometimes they would last all the way through the next day. And that was after taking Imitrex and the triptans and some of the other medications that were really just covering up the root problem. And most of you probably know what I'm talking about. And just raise your hand. Can you resonate with that? And it was hard for her. And it was hard on me, and it was hard on her family, and just everybody felt for her. And we tried a lot of natural things as well. We tried, the massage, the acupuncture, physical therapy. We did some diet modifications, and we even did traditional chiropractic. And I would say this is, with knowing what I know now, the reason why these doctors couldn't solve her migraines was because they never figured out what was causing her migraine. Right? Because in order to fix the problem, you need to figure out what's causing the problem in the first place. And the fact is these doctors, they never asked about her cheerleading career. And that's what we realized later, was that these cheerleading injuries were what really caused the migraines. And she was a cheerleader. I don't know, 10 years and, all the way through college. And you just imagine, right? Lots of concussions, lots of head and neck injuries, whiplash. And there was this specific injury that even I remember. And it was a basketball game, and they were doing their halftime performance. And, guess what? I didn't even say this, but guess what position she was? She was the one that they call them the flyer, right? The one that gets launched up in the air. And I remember vividly, it was during the performance, she was launched up, she did the flip, came down, and it just boom, right there, landed on the gym floor, hit her head, and it just concussion. And somehow the arm basket, the guys, it just wasn't strong enough, I guess. And so anyways, it happened like that. And since then, the doctors, they never really dove into that. They never asked her about these concussions, as if like they had nothing to do with her migraines. And the sad truth is that there's so many other people out there suffering from migraines that have had similar head and neck injuries. And they could, whether they're sports injuries, I've seen car accidents, physical abuse, and a lot of other things, but it's like the doctors, they're all doing the same thing. Here's the meds, here's the triptans, the Imitrex, and let's cover up the pain, hit the snooze button, throw out the fire alarm, and watch the underlying problem get worse. And I get it. There's a time and a place. It helps you get through the workday, but it's not long term. And that's why I'm passionate about this, because I saw it with my own eyes. The difference between a chemical solution that's temporary, but then on the other side of the coin is there's the solution that actually addresses the root problem. And the solution that we figured out, and the same solution that you're about to learn. And so anyways, I just had to touch base on that. That is basically kind of my why we're doing this, just because it's really personal to me. Okay, let's take a look here in the chat. I just want to see who's in here. I know I kind of did a rant there. Okay, we've got Kim from Hillsborough, chronic headaches. Thanks for joining, Kim. We've got Robin, migraines for 10 years. That's a long time, Robin. Hopefully we can get you some answers today. I really hope that you find this valuable. Jill from Tigard, Robin. We got, anyways, Portland, Tigard, awesome. So we've got Kim, Robin, and Jill. Thanks for joining this evening. Really looking forward to diving into this. But the thing is, whether you're like Kim, Jill, and Robin, with migraines, headaches, again, that's just a migraine is a classification of a specific type of headache. Anyways, but if you're like them, you're probably here just because of that. And again, if you're like most people, you're looking for natural, long-term solutions. And that's what tonight's really about. We're not doing surgery, no drugs, no needles. And so that's why we're here tonight. And my goal over the next, we'll say 20 minutes here, but it's to show you an entirely new approach that you've probably never heard of before. And so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to play a video, and it's a video that I recorded myself, and it just does a really good job kind of explaining what my wife did and what I now do in the office to really help people get real relief. And so if you do have any questions throughout the video, just send me a message through the chat, or you can just post it up in the comments. I'm going to be here right with you doing this, and then we'll kind of touch base. But all right, let's go ahead and play that here, and we'll get this started. Wonderful. Welcome. I'm glad you are here. This masterclass is for those suffering from migraines. If that sounds like you, then you are in the right place. I'm going to show you how you can eliminate your migraines naturally. Just imagine for a minute eliminating your migraines once and for all. Imagine there was a simple, natural way to do this. What would life be like? What would you do different? How would this change your life? Well, rest assured, this isn't wishful thinking. I help migraine sufferers like you every day, and there's a really good chance that I can help you too. Okay, here's what I'll cover today. Secret number 1, your problem isn't the problem. Secret number 2, the key test that will finally tell you the exact root cause of your migraines. And secret number 3, the simple solution for correcting the root cause of your migraines. The first step is discovering the root problem, and that takes us to secret number 1. Your problem isn't the problem. There is an underlying reason why you have migraines. The pain you feel is just a symptom, which is why the traditional medical route fails. Most doctors are trained just to cover up the symptoms, hoping that you feel better temporarily. Here are a few patients that I've seen over the years. Let's see if any of this sounds familiar. Jenna was suffering from migraines, vertigo, ear fullness, tinnitus, and hormone imbalances. So, her doctor sent her to a neurologist and an ENT specialist. Tests came back relatively normal. She was prescribed Imitrex, was told to update her eyewear prescription, and was told to go on a quote-unquote low-fat diet. Do you think this fixed her problems? Mark was having daily migraine attacks, brain fog, neck pain, fatigue, and anxiety. So his doctor did all the conventional tests, didn't find a thing, prescribed him medications, told him to get needle injections in his neck, and told him to reduce the stress in his life. How do you think he did? Lori was suffering from migraines, neck pain, limited neck movement, sleeping problems, digestive problems, and low energy. Her doctor recommended physical therapy, Botox injections. She was told to do a quote-unquote detox, start an exercise program, and to meditate daily. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Do you see a pattern here? Most doctors spend their time up here looking at symptoms, when in reality, they should be focusing here, looking at the underlying root cause. The truth is, diet alone isn't the issue. It's not a lack of exercise. It's not that you need a specific prescription drug. It's not your fault. Why? Because you have an underlying problem, and that underlying problem is almost always an atlas misalignment problem. What is an atlas misalignment? An atlas misalignment is when the atlas bone, which is the top bone in your neck, shifts out of its normal position and stays there. The atlas can misalign in several different directions. It can misalign sideways and upward. We call this atlas tilt, but it can also misalign rotationally, which is what we call an atlas twist. Now, why is an atlas misalignment bad? 1, this causes a lack of blood flow to the brain. And 2, this compromises the bottom of the brain, known as the brain stem. The brain gets its blood supply from the arteries that travel through the atlas. So when the atlas misaligns, this will change the amount of blood entering and exiting the brain. To better illustrate this, think of kinking a garden hose. When you kink a hose, the amount of water reduces while the water pressure increases. Similarly, when your arteries are stretched from an atlas misalignment, the amount of blood to your brain reduces, while the blood pressure into your brain increases. This is why people commonly feel pressure buildup inside their head when they have a migraine. Additionally, your brainstem controls and regulates several key functions in your body: balance, blood pressure, breathing, facial sensations, hearing, heart rhythm, sleeping, the nerves that control all of your muscles, and so much more. An atlas misalignment can compromise and buckle the brainstem, which will interfere with this communication. And if the atlas stays misaligned, your brain will continue sending you messages until it's corrected. These messages can be symptoms related to migraines, headaches, dizziness, vertigo, brain fog, nerve pain, neck pain, hormone imbalances, fatigue, and even digestive problems. So, what causes an atlas misalignment? Any guesses? That's right. The atlas misalignment is almost always caused by some sort of head and neck injury. Injuries can often be traced all the way back to childhood. Tumble down the stairs, falling off a bike, or even something similar to what you're watching. Or perhaps it was a sports injury, or most commonly, a car crash. Think back and you'll probably come up with a few possibilities of your own. So, in summary, we have a head and neck injury, causing the atlas misalignment, causing abnormal blood flow and brainstem problems, causing a migraine and other symptoms. So, if I'm gonna help you eliminate your migraines, I first have to assess the alignment of your atlas. This takes us to secret number 2, the key test that can finally tell you the exact root cause of your migraines. Now, if you're like most people, you've already had countless tests. The problem is that they're the wrong test for your problem. The MRI doesn't show you an atlas misalignment. Neither does a CT scan or other brain or nerve scans. If the atlas misalignment is the root cause of your migraines, then testing to see if the atlas is misaligned is the key. A specialized test known as the Atlas X-ray test will tell you exactly what's going on with your atlas. This test is a series of specific X-rays of your head and neck, which is exactly what you want.
Once we get these x-rays, I will be able to zero in on your atlas and I will measure it down to 1/10 of a degree to know exactly how to correct it. 90% of migraine sufferers that I have helped have had some degree of atlas misalignment. And for those concerned about x-ray exposure, you don't need to be. Our state-of-the-art digital x-ray unit, along with our specific lead filters, help to reduce exposure. The American College of Radiology recommends 100 millisieverts of exposure in a lifetime. An entire before and after Atlas X-ray series totals only 0.4 millisieverts. That's only 0.4% of the recommended amount. Unfortunately, few doctors know anything about this test. And even if you have had neck x-rays before, most doctors only take the side view and maybe the view where you open your mouth. But that's not good enough. You need the top-down view to see if the atlas is rotating. And that's the view that I take. All right, let's take a closer look at some actual Atlas X-ray test results and how they identify the root cause. Remember Jenna? She was suffering from migraines, vertigo, ear fullness, tinnitus, and hormone imbalances. You can see here her atlas was tilting 2.4 degrees and here twisting 10.8 degrees. You can clearly see that this was an atlas misalignment problem. Remember Mark? He was having daily migraine attacks, brain fog, neck pain, fatigue, and anxiety. You can see here his atlas was tilting 1.6 degrees, and here twisting 4.4 degrees. Definitely an atlas misalignment problem. Last but not least, remember Lori? She was suffering from migraines, neck pain, limited neck movement, sleeping problems, digestive problems, and low energy. Her atlas was tilting 2.3 degrees and twisting 1.8 degrees. And although this may appear to be less severe of a misalignment, she was still really suffering. So, you might be thinking, why didn't my doctor tell me about this? The short answer, this simply isn't part of their typical training. But why? Because most doctors are trained to prescribe medication, and this problem doesn't call for prescription drugs. Once you take your Atlas X-ray test, it will finally reveal the underlying root problem. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, I realize this might seem a bit too simple. And the truth is that this is a very abbreviated explanation. And although these might seem like lines on a computer screen, these are very real people who had very severe problems. But I was able to help them using a specific process. That takes us to secret number 3, the simple solution for correcting your Atlas misalignment and reclaiming your life. So, once we've uncovered the root cause of your migraines, I will have all the measurements that I need to correct it. And I do this through the Brain Restore program. Because if I'm going to truly help you eliminate your migraines, I will have to, number 1, identify the root cause of your unique problem, and number 2, provide you with a personalized, complete plan. You see, one of the primary reasons why many good approaches fail is simply because they're incomplete. Just like a splinter, what happens when you only remove part of it? The problem persists. In order to correct this, we have to address all of your stressors: physical, chemical, and emotional. We do this through a specific 3-step process: Atlas realignment, low-level laser therapy, and cellular detox. Let's take a quick look at each one of these 3 approaches. First, Atlas realignment. The NUCCA adjustment, which is a specific, gentle adjustment, will help to realign your atlas. This will ultimately help release the stress placed on your brainstem, nerves, and arteries. This is the most important step to helping you eliminate your migraines. The adjustment occurs while you are laying down on your side with your head in a specific balanced position. Then, I will use the soft part of my palm to apply gentle pressure right behind your earlobe, which is exactly where that atlas is. There is no twisting, cracking, or popping of the neck. The only thing you will feel is a small amount of vibrational pressure for about 30 seconds. That's it. Proper atlas realignment is the first step to initiating your brain's natural healing process. And the best part about this is that you don't have to cross your fingers, believe, and hope that things will work. Why? Because our approach is don't just guess, test. This allows us to objectively see before and after how much we corrected the atlas misalignment. Next, I will use low-level laser therapy. Low-level laser therapy has been shown to naturally help relieve symptoms associated with migraines by reducing pain, reducing brain inflammation, increasing blood flow to the brain, and even the formation of new blood vessels. Now, even though our primary focus with the laser is your brain, the specific laser that I have has 20 FDA clearances to treat a wide variety of health problems. Treatments only take 10 minutes and there are 0 side effects. Then I use cellular detox. Cellcore Biosciences leads the industry when it comes to natural detox supplements. These supplements are a new discovery that have completely disrupted the entire natural medicine industry. Cellcore has a comprehensive 4-month supplement protocol that helps to detoxify environmental toxins such as herbicides, pesticides, air pollutants, phthalates, parabens, forever chemicals, and more. They help to detoxify toxic mold, which plagues the Pacific Northwest. They help to detoxify heavy metals such as aluminum, mercury, dental fillings, and others. And lastly, they help to kill parasites such as tapeworms, hookworms, roundworms, and others commonly found in our food, drinking water, and even our pets. When too many of these toxins accumulate in your brain and your body, this can absolutely cause a migraine. Cellcore supplements will help your brain and your body naturally eliminate these toxins so that you won't get a migraine. By using this no stone left unturned approach, I have helped my patients not merely get temporary symptom relief, but actually help to correct their root problems. Just imagine fixing the root cause of your migraines, finally feeling good again, having the energy you need to do what you want, and having the tools needed to maintain your health. And that I can begin helping you today, but you don't need to take my word for it. Jenna said, after wasting over 7,000 in testing and ineffective treatments, I found Dr. Burt's program. It was a new approach that I had never heard of before, but it made so much sense. Nobody ever told me before that my migraines came from my neck being out of alignment. The plan he had me on really works. My migraines have gone from 3 times a week to only having 2 last month. I feel like I have my life back. Mark said, since going through the Brain Restore program, my daily migraine attacks have reduced to monthly, which also resolve a lot quicker than before. And I don't have to take off time from work anymore. Thank you. Lori said, I was finally able to get real answers to why my migraines were so bad. The car accident 8 years ago must have really caused them. I had lost hope. But then my friend told me about Dr. Burt and his different approach that wouldn't crack my neck. I'm so thankful that I can feel normal again. And I'm confident that I can help you too. The critical first step is your Atlas X-ray test. If you're like most people, chances are you've already spent a lot of money on expensive tests that haven't really helped. The good news is that the Atlas X-ray test doesn't cost thousands. It's just $345. So let me ask you, if this test could finally uncover the root cause of your migraines, would it be worth it? If this could get you on the right path, would it be worth it? If this could help you reclaim your life and feel normal again, would it be worth it? Of course it would. So let me help you. Here's what you'll do. First, you'll schedule your Atlas X-ray test right on our website. Then, you'll fill out a simple online intake form letting me know more about you and how the migraines are affecting your life. Then, you'll come into the clinic where I will take your x-rays. Then, I will measure your x-rays and discuss them with you in detail. At the end of your appointment, I will identify the root cause behind your migraines and outline a complete plan for you, designed to correct the underlying root cause instead of merely covering up the symptoms. That's it. Hey, I look forward to helping you eliminate your migraines and reclaim your life.
Turn my mic on. There we go. Awesome, everybody. Well, thanks for watching that. And obviously, hopefully it made sense to everybody. And I hope everyone learned something new. And just, yeah, if you did learn something new or do you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. But I will say, if that video did make sense to you and you know for sure, no questions asked, that you want to see what your Atlas X-ray test looks like, I'm going to make it really easy for you by posting a link on your screen so that way you can schedule your test right now. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to post the link. Here it is. Publish. There it is. But yeah, the whole idea of this is we really want to get to the root of what's going on here. And that's where it starts, you know, even with my wife, and that's where it started with her. And I do kind of want to conclude that story. But I remember when she got her first Atlas realignment, it was Dr. James, and he's still my mentor today. And, you know, when I was in chiropractic school, I'll never forget it. You know, he flew out from Salt Lake City and just to teach us the importance of properly realigning the Atlas vertebra. And I'll say it, you know, the night before he realigned her, he took a few of us students at the time right out to dinner, and I had told them about my wife and, you know, what she was going through and how she had seen multiple chiropractors and just they still couldn't quite figure out the migraine. And he told me this. He's like, you know, the migraine headache is the number one problem that I help people solve, and we figure her out. And let me tell you, the next day, I mean, even just not the adjustment, the realignment, but it was also the x-ray process. It was just completely different than what school had taught me. And it was tough because it's the school's job to teach me how to do this. And, you know, here this doctor was a neck specialist, and all he did was kind of focus on the neck and you think that, you know, that wouldn't be a priority, but it's a massive importance. And you know, he's not teaching full time. He's just coming in part time, flying for a day. But anyways, you know, after my wife had gone migraine free for an entire week, and then 2 weeks, I knew that's what I had to do. And I was going to be a neck specialist. And 7 years later, here I am. And again, Dr. James, still my mentor today. I still send some tough cases his way, but it helps to have that support, especially in this niche community. And but at the end of the day, again, it comes down to that Atlas X-ray test. And so I will tell you, for those that do schedule within the next 24 hours, what I'm going to do is give you 3 free low-level laser treatments as just a way of saying thank you for taking the time to watch this class. And we charge $85 for each laser session. So you're literally saving the $255 by scheduling in the next 24 hours. And again, like as much as yes, the laser is important, the Atlas X-ray test and just the realignment is 100% the most important part of the entire process. But I will say, you know, with the laser, there are benefits on the brain that just when compared to any other specific brain therapy, it's unmatched. And even last week, I had a woman start with me who just wanted, you know, try out the laser just to see, and, you know, great person. She was having a migraine when she started the treatment, and just it was 10 minutes is all it is. And literally after that, at 10 minutes, 50% gone, and it reduced the severity 50%. And, you know, and even like we have lights in there, and she's like, gosh, the lights don't even bother me. And that's great. But I told her this too. I'm like, hey, you can come in, just do the laser if you want. But I'm telling you, you got to get the Atlas done right, because otherwise it's just, you get the temporary relief. And I'll say, you know, mark my words, within the next few years, you will see more and more people and researchers talking about this, and just the laser, both Atlas realignment and the laser therapy on the brain to help with migraines, and not just migraines, but other inflammatory brain conditions. So jump on this, especially if you had a concussion before. Other than that, that's all I want to say about the laser. Okay, moving on. Before we close out tonight, I do want to get into a few common questions that people have. And so I've got a list here. We're going to just go through them. I've got 8 of them. Just again, most people that watch this, these are the most common questions I get. So let's just answer them right now. And so question 1, does insurance cover this? Now, regarding the Atlas realignment, car accidents with an open claim are covered 100% by insurance. But most people, again, they're going to have the health insurance. And I will say, so for the health insurance, as long as you've met your deductible, they will likely cover around 50% of just the charges, depending on your specific plan. Again, last week, I had a woman show me her EOB, which is an explanation of benefits, and she showed me it for the Atlas X-ray test. And so she paid the $345, but her reimbursement was $325 back. And so, you know, do the math. What is that, like 95%? And now she had United Health Insurance, so obviously they're better than some of the others. But then again, it's all just dependent on the plans. There's so many variables when it comes to these plans. So we're happy to walk you through that. I would say the top 3 insurance companies out there for health insurance are United, Regence, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then Providence does a really good job. So that's the important thing. They do great with the chiropractic Atlas realignment stuff, but with the detox, the supplements, and the laser, they don't reimburse for that. So just the chiropractic, the Atlas care there. Question 2, how much does it cost after the Atlas X-ray test? Okay, so I'm going to keep this simple. After we get the Atlas X-ray test, I'll have you come back in for a 2-hour appointment. That's when I literally work my tail off to correct your Atlas misalignment as far down as your neck is going to allow. This appointment is also $345. And then after that, follow-ups drop down to $95 per appointment and take only about 15 minutes. And then if you do want to add the laser, it's an additional $85 for that. And then 10 minutes, give or take, 10 minutes, and then just, the time that it takes for that. So add 10 minutes. And then with the cellular detox, it is a 4-month kit. So 4 months all the way through, and it works out to about $995 for one payment. Or, sometimes people want to kind of space that out. It's about $249 a month. Again, we want to keep this affordable for people, and also keeping the quality there. So that's the most important thing for us, is we want to we emphasize quality. Okay, question 3: do I have to sign a contract after my Atlas X-ray test? And the answer is no. We operate on a kind of like a pay-per-visit basis. So if you want to try out one Atlas realignment, you totally can. Now, obviously, I don't recommend that because we really do need to retrain your neck muscles so that you maintain your alignment. But I never bind anyone to a contract saying what, you have to come 12 times or whatever. No, and here's the reason why I do that, because everybody responds differently, some quicker than others, some slow, and so I respect that. And, some people are only going to need 6 follow-ups, and some people might need 14 over, 3 months or so. And I also want to say this, we've got about 25% of our patients that drive from over an hour away. And like even just earlier this week, we had a gal from Roseburg come up, which is 3 hours. And so she, for her, twice a month works. And again, it's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. And so does that kind of make sense? We really want to make this care accessible to people. And so that's why I do that. Okay. Question 4. Does the Atlas realignment or adjustment hurt? And no, not at all. It is the softest, most gentle adjustment out there. Most people feel absolutely nothing. And just from what you could probably see on the video, you're lying down on your side with your head balanced on a support. And then all the realignment is specific, gentle pressure right behind your earlobe for about 30 seconds. And what I'm feeling for is for that Atlas to start to move just a few millimeters in the right direction to take the pressure off the nerve. That's the goal. That's it. Okay. Question 5, do I have to do the laser and cellular detox as well? Okay, no, the answer is no. Do I think it's best for you to do all 3? Absolutely. Do people notice migraine relief faster and get longer lasting results with the laser and the detox? 100%. And how do I know this? Because the data that I collect, I do these progress surveys, and it really proves this. And so with my surveys, my testimonials, and that's my job. Again, I understand people, they may just want to come in for the Atlas stuff, and that's my primary focus. But I have to at least share these options because I've really seen the laser and detox have a profound impact on people's ability to do well long term. So that's my objective. Hey, here's the ingredients. You select what ingredients you want to put in, and we'll make it happen. So, okay. Question 6, how long is the program? So the Brain Restore program is a 3-month program. And then after that, I will give you my recommendations on how to maintain your progress, if you will. Question 7 it's a follow-up to this. Why 3 months? And it's because 3 months is how long it takes tissue to heal. And so even though I say after the 3 months for real healing, people notice relief a lot faster. And so again, there's checkpoints along the way, but we have to make sure we're addressing the underlying problem here. I say this all the time, just because the pain is gone does not mean the problem is gone. So it's really important to, even if we see a massive improvement in the migraine after the first few realignments, complete the plan, because the tissue does take more time to heal. The vessels take time to heal, fluid dynamics, all that stuff. I don't want to get too scientific right now. Okay, we have last question. Number 8, how fast do people notice relief from their migraine? I pretty much answered this one. But again, if people aren't noticing relief within a month, there's a problem. But most people are they're kind of releasing a lot of that stress and tension immediately after their first realignment for most people. Now, sure, some are going to need more time depending on how long it's been out of alignment. And maybe how long the migraines have been there. So there are some variables with that. But I will say, most everybody that starts the protocol notices relief, whether that's frequency or severity. So how often the migraines come on or how severe they get, they notice an improvement in the first 30 days. So that's really important for me. That's a metric that I'm strong about tracking, and I take that really seriously. That's my expectation for you. But other than that, that's all the questions. I really want to thank everybody for being here and really staying until the end. And so please don't forget to schedule your Atlas X-ray test. Let me offer that second opinion to you at just the very minimum. And also, if you know anyone else with migraines, please send them this link so that way they can register for this class and learn the same information that you just learned. I promise you they will thank you for thinking of them and for just sharing this information, because they probably haven't heard of it before. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to end on this. My mission, again, coming back to full circle here. My mission with this is to help migraine sufferers. Why? Because it's personal to me. I saw what they did to my wife, and so all of you have a special place in my heart, and just know I'm committed to helping you, the migraine sufferer, more than anyone else. So that's it. Again, thanks for being on tonight. I hope everybody has a great evening, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, everybody.